Good morning to our distinguished speakers today and the members of the management. I welcome everybody to the seminar on innovation and creative thinking amongst the youth of India, being organized by Think Tank Suvichar in association with GGDST College. Think Tank Suvichar has been set up by like-minded individuals with headquarters in Chandigarh. Suvichar is a forum for experienced persons who have insight into various key sectors that are an integral part of our society's functioning. Suvichar seeks to give back to society inputs and guideposts that can enhance the ability of people to deal with a plethora of issues and also to provide thought leadership in certain areas. General VP Malik, Mr. M.L. Sareen, Ms. Neelam Man Singh, Mr. V.K. Kapoor, Mr. Vivek Atre, Professor Rajneesh Vats, Mr. Vipin Pabi, Mr. Ashok Tandon, Mr. Sameer Jain, Mr. Sameer Goyal, Ms. Neena Singh and Ms. Jyoti Kamal are the founder members of Suvichar Think Tank. Before I move on further, I would like our management, members of the management and principals here, to give a green welcome to the speakers. Shri Upkar Kishan Sharma ji, President GGDST College Society, Shri Anirudh Joshi ji, General Secretary GGDST College Society, along with Dr. Rajesh Sharma, Principal GGDST College, to kindly give a green welcome to the speakers.
Excuse me, sir, put it. Okay.
Ms. Neena Singh. That's Mr. Vivek.
General Malik, Atre ji, Teena ji, and gathering greetings to you from GGDST College Society. Innovation and सांप चढ़ गया थोड़ा सा, sorry. I think it's a habit which need to be cultivated right from the days the students are in their academic career. And it's great to have this NGO who is working for the improvement in this field. And I wish and I hope that deliberation today will be useful to our students. And I wish you good luck to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Before we hear our eminent speakers today, we have two student volunteers who will be speaking upon innovation and creative thinking amongst the youth. I first welcome our first speaker, Aditya Sharma, who's doing BA Honours and is in second year.
Change is crucial. It leads to new thoughts, and new thoughts lead to innovations. My greetings to everyone present here. Today, we are all here to discuss on the idea of innovation and creative thinking. Innovation and creative thinking. Heavy terms. As a student myself, I was not very sure about what these terms really meant, although we use them in our daily lives every single day. So I did what all other people of my age usually do. I took my cell phone out and Googled it. And I noticed a pattern. A pattern which I realized that there are two things which are common over here. A prerequisite to innovation, that is change, and a common goal, that is welfare of the people. We live in the 21st century, and whenever we scroll throughout our social media platforms, whether it is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, we come across various new innovations, newest models of phones, satellites, machines being invented every single day. Why? To facilitate humanity. But the thing over here is that there is a misconception to innovation as well. That misconception is that innovation is only limited to technology. No, it's not. Innovation is also deep-rooted in society and spirituality as well. Today, we are bombarded with information. Information is lying every single place. And the need over here, being the youth of this country, is to bridge the gap and think, analyze things. That is the main issue, which will bridge the gap between youth and innovation. It is basically the connection between the two. Most of you would have heard that India has the world's largest youth population. And it is an asset, I know. But I have slightly differing views over here. Being more in number is not an achievement by itself. But rather, what matters more over here is that how many of these youths are willing to give a change to the society. How many of youth are willing to sit together and discuss and address the most difficult questions the society is facing right now. How many of youth are willing to come forward and volunteer for bringing change? These are the questions need to be pondered, and innovation plays a huge role in this. Civilization stands not on stagnancy and superstition, but free flow of ideas. And that is what I think innovation is, free flow of ideas. The Rig Veda said, Ano bhadraha kritvo yantu vishvata, which means let noble thoughts come from all directions. Such beautiful definition given right there in our ancient scriptures. The world today is facing many issues, whether it is poverty, hunger, disease, communal tensions. In order to create a better world for our future generations and ourselves, one needs to step forward and grab opportunities. It is said that innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not as a threat. So, we must take all ideas and work on the reconciliation to make this world a better place to live in. Thank you.
In a friend's mind, and we develop those ideas. So it is very important that as students, you at least have peer groups where you discuss your ideas, where you bounce off those ideas with each other and form, discussion groups, discussion circles. Vivekji, we have a discussion circle too. So this Vichar was an idea of that people who have experience in life, they come together and they find ways and means to build better things or better resources, better processes in society. I worked for HDFC Bank, I worked for State Bank, so 30 years of banking experience. I learned that from a public sector, when I moved from public sector to private sector, it was a sea change for me. In public sector, I used to be the youngest. And in private sector, I suddenly became the oldest because everybody was so young. And I had moved into a domain where everything was computerized. So I had to learn everything. I had to learn everything. I had to learn new ideas. I had to relearn. I had to unlearn. So these are all processes of how you do your learning. And you as students, you are so privileged. You are so privileged, you don't understand. Because when we were students, where was Google? Where was all this information, the world of information that you have at your fingertips today? We used to go to libraries, we used to pore over books, we used to make notes. Today you have everything at your command, and your phone holds, it's a powerhouse of knowledge. But how you use that knowledge, that is very important. That is most important. And that comes when you know the power of using your time, the time management, and how you have to use that. That's very important. So let me come to innovation. What is innovation? You explained so well what is innovation. But when I was in the bank, the MD used to say that there are three things which we used to work on: product, processes, and people. These are the three pillars of innovation: product, processes, and people. And people would mean both internal customers, the staff, and external customers. So we have to anticipate the needs of the customer. We don't have to fulfill the needs of the customer. We have to anticipate the needs of the customer and build products and streamline processes and develop people through training and give them all the benefits for the staff so that the ease of working is there for the staff and they have a customer obsession. so that we are able to, now most of you, there are many MBA students here, you will be entering banks. So you should be aware of this thing. And when you talk of technology, in our system, technology was the enabler. It is an enabler. It enables you to do things. It enables you to do things fast. It enables you to build sustainability, because without sustainability, there is no innovation. Innovation is not producing one Tesla. Innovation is when you can produce millions and millions of Tesla at cost-effective prices, which the customer will buy, which will sustain for a long time. So these are all small tips which I think I wanted to share with you. One more very important thing about innovation. Innovation works only when you have constraints. Now you will ask why. Unless you have constraints of resources, of time, which is a resource, money, a resource where you have to set a time limit, where you have a goal, innovation will not happen. You can just say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it day after tomorrow. You have to have a limit, you have to have a time limit, you have to have a money limit, right? So when there are constraints, innovation is faster. The speedier innovation happens whenever there is constraint. When I used to open HDFC Bank branches in 7 states, I was traveling 20 to 25 days a month, and my husband was looking after the home. The constraints were that, I had to set a date for the branch opening without anything being there. There was no building, there was no branch, there was nothing, and I had to set a date. And once the date was set, the whole cycle started moving. And bang on the date I had said the branch should open, the branch would open. So I learned that it is very important to have goal setting. It's very important. So these are small tips which I thought I must share. The experiences I have, I noted down something. So education should, one more important point, education has to become more broad-based, more multidisciplinary. You are studying BA, don't just be in that Kuekam Indak of BA. You should know more subjects, you should have more knowledge about other subjects. Today abroad there are liberal arts colleges where students are studying multiple subjects together, right? So what happens? That gives you an edge in this economy, in this global economy. You're not just going to talk about your own small thing or your small learning. You can talk about anything. Why does Bill Gates know so much? He's just a software person. He can talk on any subject because the amount of books he reads, he thinks, he contemplates, he jots down his journal points, and he's able to speak because he has some deep knowledge. He has done some deep diving into those subjects. So that is very important as students. Don't just skim through. I find when I go to schools and colleges or even the university that there is a tendency to just skim through things. No, there has to be a deep dive into it. Try to understand those things and think about them and then come up with your original ideas. Don't just Google first of all. That is also a constraint because sometimes we just Google and we stop using our own grey cells. We have to use our own grey cells. Use them so that more mapping of neurons happens in your brain and you're able to think new thoughts. That's very important. And why should we concentrate on youth for creativity and innovation? Why? Because youth has a risk-taking ability. We elders, our risk-taking ability is limited. Your risk-taking ability is vast. You are a gene pool. So you have to do that. You have to really you have to take risks, and then you should do, you have constraints. You have constraints of money, you have constraints of resources. So you have the second thing also. And also you can collaborate with your peers more easily now. There is internet, there is WhatsApp, there are so many, technological resources to give you that platform where you can form groups. There are Google Chats, there are so many things. So you can collaborate with the creative minds and collaborate and come out with new ideas. So the more you focus on your creativity, the more it will develop, and the students need to grow and of course become leaders, change makers, and builders of society. We feel that you are the builders of society of tomorrow, and if India has to reach anywhere, you are going to be the builders of that society. So I wish you all the best, and thank you for such a patient listening. Thank you.
Very good. Excellent. Shulini University, where I'm an advisor, they have innovated to the extent that moringa seeds can be used to purify big vessels of water. You put one of those tablets there, they've created tablets of moringa. Moringa is drumsticks powder, right? Drumsticks powder, which we get in Ayurveda also. So Ayurveda coming back and being utilized in a manner at home, or 60 books at home which you will never read again. Everyone collects books over the years. You want to give them, they will collect those books and get you those books which you have, and you have a little subscription fee per month. It's an idea. Even Oyo Rooms was an idea at one time. And even Flipkart was an idea at one time. So you innovate in your life if you cannot innovate at work. So my request to you all is, think innovatively about your careers. Just because your friend is going into a particular domain, it's not necessary for you to do the same. The sky is the limit today with technology, with the internet. You're not going to innovate in technology, but utilizing that awareness and information, you can innovate in your careers. And then become entrepreneurs or become even career professionals with jobs who matter. I would like to just end by saying that Suvichar is open to ideas. We would like to hear from you through your college. I think Professor Vikram is coordinating this event. Your principal Saab is also here. So any of you who is wanting to share some ideas about innovation and creativity, and also please get into the habit of writing. Write and read also, ma'am said, read books and write. Writing is not about text messaging only. We need to write a little more.
Emojis only.
Because I know that all of you can write. Hindi, English, Punjabi doesn't matter. कुछ भी लिखो, लिखना है. संस्कृत में सर नहीं लिख पाते आजकल, वो थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. But any other language?
Your mother was Sanskrit.
I know. That's why I'm knowing this. My mother did MA Sanskrit and Sir was her guide. Professor Joshi, my mother's guide. So the thing is that whatever language you can, please communicate in writing also a little more, and you will become better at expressing yourself. Those of you who are interested in the civil services careers, I am a mentor to an academy called B.Voc IAS Career Academy, which has a tie-up with your college, which has a very close tie-up with your college. Dr. Vivek Rana and Dr. Jagpreet Singh, 1 minute ke liye, can you stand up please? They will be available to you outside if you are interested in asking about civil services careers. They are experienced faculty members, please sit down. And you can talk to them. Those of you who want to know more about Suvichar, Inder is there, Kalchima is there, I am there. You can ask us outside and know more. If you want to be associated with our activities, it's not necessary that today is the only day you're involved with Suvichar and that's it, bye. So please think about how you can contribute to society with your ideas. I want to thank the college for organizing this event. I think the best part is that we are running on time, and that is, I think, very important innovation in India, sir. Time management.
We can give them at least 10 minutes.
Now we'll give them some time to interact, of course. So after this, please interact and give your suggestions, and ma'am will probably conduct it. So please keep in touch. And lastly, don't be negative in life. दुखी आत्मा नहीं, रोंदू टाइप नहीं बनना है, complaint बाज नहीं बनना है. There are many like that. Be an encourager. The world is full of critics. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, now we have a question answer session with the guests, with the speakers. Anybody in the audience, our teachers, our students, anyone has any questions? Do you want to ask any questions?
Like General Malik said that in the beginning, that sometimes people feel that in the armed forces they are, too occupied with their drills and not very, they don't think that much. But I rather think it is all of the armed forces across the globe are some of the most precise human psychology innovation organizations. So one example that I can think of is from the United States Army. In the Iraq operation, what happened was they were facing insurgency. Riots were very regular. So the Iraqi police and the military was trying to control them, but they had to keep the US troops on, they had to just inform them that they have to be there. One US Army major saw the CCTV footage of how the riots start. What he saw, that when people collect, a group of people collect, then there are some food stalls, there are vendors, and people start eating, and then somebody throws a bottle or a cap and shouts a slogan, and all hell breaks loose. And that is when the riots were becoming problems, because they were resulting in US casualties and everything. What that major did was simply ask the mayor that, can you please make sure that there are no food vendors outside. The next time when people collected, there were some people, they did not see the stalls because out of habit they were used to going and having a kebab or something. They did not see the stalls and the crowd dispersed and there were no riots. So as somebody who controlled this situation by this very weird, we would from outside you would say it's a very weird solution, just by making sure that the vendors are not there, because humans are creatures of habit. According to psychology studies, approximately more than 40% of what we do is involuntary. It is out of habit. We do not think of more than 40% of our actions. They are something that are ingrained. So armed forces, where it is taught that how to react in certain situations, which are drilled in the minds, so that when situations arise, you don't have to repeat that command, so that things are swift, more efficient. And I think this is something we can learn in our own lives. Having good routines, having good basic habits, going for a morning jog, we all know it's a good habit. Having one good keystone habit, it actually encourages us to make use of our that positive energy and make use of our willpower in all other directions. And also, Mr. Vivek Atre, in 7th grade, you visited St. Soldiers and I was awarded the Best Student award by you. Was very honored to be awarded. And
very good. Thank you, for correcting our image.
The guns as well as the human mind. And guns we keep, you are having better and better guns there. The technology plays a big role. And every time, every few years you have to have it, you get a new gun and all. But we always maintain one thought in our mind, that it is the person behind the gun who matters.
Absolutely.
The man or the woman behind. Earlier it was only the man, now it is man and woman behind the gun that matters. So human resource development is a very important subject for us in the armed forces. And running a team in the time of stress and strain, you have to have good knowledge of human resource, and that becomes an important subject. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions?
So you are encouraging us to tell our startup ideas or our ideas. So like, why should we tell anyone our ideas? Like, someone can see our ideas.
I have an answer to that.
Yes sir. I want to ask you, what should we do if we have an idea and if we want someone to invest in it?
You should share it. I'll tell you why. Today the era of entrepreneurship is of sharing and mentoring.
The college management facilitating our eminent speakers today.
Sir.